Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first segment of Semen Retention Sunday here on this channel. I think I'm going to do this from here on out every Sunday, try to have a semen retention video, or at least every 2 weeks. And the reason for that is because I've had a lot of comments and a lot of emails on semen retention recently. And so I think that it is necessary for me to start to make more videos about this, but I don't want to strictly make this a semen retention video channel. And so with that being said, let's get into today's topic. So the topic for today is why so many different kinds of women, specifically youthful women, older women, women in relationships, married women, and single women of all kinds are going to be attracted to you on semen retention. Now, I want to make it clear that semen retention is a spiritual practice. It is a definite spiritual practice. And the sole purpose of semen retention should not be to gain the attraction of females. Now, this is going to be a byproduct, but what you're really doing on semen retention is building up your discipline. You're building up your resources. Financially, economically, socially, you're building up your network. You're just building a better version of yourself overall. And that's what women are really attracted to at the most core level. But one of the other reasons that women are going to be attracted to you is because your testosterone is boosted. You have a newfound sense of vitality in life. You have a new zest for life as well. And a lot of the times, women that are older that are attracted to you just want to feel youthful again. They just want to feel like they can still attract someone that is younger. And if she has been around the block a few times, here's the thing about women that are older that I don't think a lot of men understand is that, I don't like the term ran through. However, they have probably been with a lot of different kinds of guys. Let's say she's had 2 or 3 relationships per year. And even if she's not a slut, she still had 2 or 3 relationships. And you can almost guarantee in modern day and age that she's slept with them. Now, if she's 30 years old and for the last decade, she's had 2 or 3 relationships each year, even though she's not a slut per se, she still has at least 20 to 30 people that she's slept with by the time she's 30, if she's been in relationships like that. Because a lot of the times women don't like to be alone. A majority of women, there are traditional women that are celibate, that are actually capable of, not opening their legs. And one thing that I want to make clear to you all is that you're on semen retention, you're going to be able to notice the spirit of the eyes more, I would say, you're more susceptible to the spirit of the eyes as well, because your eyes are connected to your soul and the eyes are actually connected to your brain as well. And so a lot of the times the things that you've experienced are going to be translated into your eyes. And it's the same thing for both males and females. So you're going to probably notice that the women that have eyes that are a little bit more dim, they're a little bit darker, they have almost this assassin-like seductive quality to them, that's a sign that she's been around the block. And it's also a sign that her innocence is gone. There's almost a sense of dark recklessness in their eyes as well. And women that are getting triggered by this right now that may be watching, those are the women that have those dark eyes that are reckless. Whereas the women that are humble, that are modest, that are capable of humility and have a deep appreciation for life, their eyes are going to be much more bright. They're going to be a lot more innocent. They're going to have that little sparkle in their eye And don't get me wrong, the women that have those darker eyes, women have this weird ability to almost, when they want to show attraction, they have this little weird ability to twinkle their eyes, it seems. I don't know if I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's kind of like sometimes when you look at them, they just glow with desire. But it's the good kind of desire. It's a genuine desire, it's a visceral desire, and it's not out of just lust in general. It's actually like she wants to show that she's capable of behaving around this kind of caliber of man. And one thing that you have to understand on semen retention is that, and this is something I recommend to almost all of my clients that I work with consultations, is to read the Bible. And even if you're not religious, I recommend reading the Bible, because the masculinity that is embedded into the text is going to be translated and transcended within your spiritual practice on semen retention. And so you're going to become a magnet to all of these kinds of different women. And the reason that so many youthful women that I've noticed are attracted to you, it's almost like they're intimidated by how attracted they are to you. Whereas the older women, like specifically within the last week, I've had older women that just start to try to have a conversation with me. And then I've had, again, in the last week, there was this one particular incident. I guess it wasn't really an incident per se, but it was more of just a situation that happened. There was a woman at the gym that had been eyeing me like a piece of steak for the last 3 days in a row. And like I would see her, like it was almost like the universe was just like naturally guiding us to have a conversation. It was like I turned a corner and she was there. And then when she turned a corner, I was there. And we didn't know. It was just this happening. It was just, again, like the universe was just bringing us together for a purpose of some kind. And so finally, after those 3 days, and then she like staring at me like I was a piece of steak. Man, I mean, it's crazy to think that you can get to that level. And the reason for it is just because I was not that level years ago. Like I was the kind of guy that women would not even look their like my way, you know. And so to just like see where I've come from and remember where I've been, it's just kind of funny to me to think about it. But anyway, so there's this situation. I end up saying to her, you know, whenever we're not working out, like I want to talk to you. And she just says, okay. And then after she gets done working out, she comes over to me and we start talking. And I don't see a ring on her finger. So like I'm assuming like it's good to go. And it was a good situation. Like it was just a good thing. Like we had a connection and we seemed to value the same things. And she was like fairly, I guess you could say submissive as well. Like she just had a lot of good potential with her. And I was just like, wow, this is a potentially pure woman, because when I look in her eyes, I don't see like resentment. I don't see bitterness, and I don't see the stain of many men that have been with this woman. Like I see a pure woman, a beautiful woman. And so I end up asking her out. And finally because I just thought it was a good situation, I wanted to move forward with it, you know? And she ends up saying that she's married. She's actually married. And I thought, well, what? Like, what? And because she's fairly young, you know, she looks about 20, 21. And she says, yeah, I'm actually married. And I said, well, I wouldn't have said anything if I saw a ring on your finger. You know, like, I don't know what else to say. And then she like sticks around, and I said, well, there's nothing wrong with admiring a beautiful woman. However, I'm not that kind of guy. It was nice to meet you. And then she starts giving me, these encouraging compliments, and she seemed to really respect just my work ethic, and she just really liked what I was doing. She told me that she recognizes that I'm actually putting in the work to like create something, and I could tell that she liked the fact that I was trying to actually create something meaningful with her. I think that was the vibe that I was giving off, and I think this is something that also men have to realize, is that women are attracted more to your vibe and just your essence more than your physical appearance. Now, your physical appearance is going to play a part, because obviously if you didn't have a good physical appearance, then, and what I mean by that is to be in shape, to be relatively healthy, to be on your purpose, and to have a mission in life. And so anyway, I ended up like just kind of leaving the situation with this woman as it was. And, like, it was nice to meet you. I'm glad you're happily married, and I'm genuinely glad that you're happily married, and, see you around, I guess. And that was that. And what was crazy is that she still kind of lingered a little bit, and I could tell that if I really wanted to, I would be able to, I would be able to seduce this woman if I really wanted to. And I'm just not that kind of person. And luckily for all of the simps out there, I'm not that kind of person. And this has happened multiple times. So now she also, one other thing about the situation, she did say, she's like, yeah, I need to start wearing the ring more, I guess. Like, and it's like, yeah, like kind of, I get that we're at the gym, but maybe you can get like this silicone ring or something, like, or like a rubber ring. I don't know. Something that shows that, you're actually married. And because when you act like there's something between us, and when you keep staring at me like I'm a piece of steak, and if you're an attractive young woman that is in shape, that is fairly feminine, that is submissive, that's attractive. Hello. And I'm the kind of guy that if you demonstrate those kinds of qualities and we share similar values and principles, then I'm going to go for it. Otherwise, I don't even like want to have a conversation with you. But this has happened over the past several months, where women, even women in relationships, literally are bending over in front of me, in front of their boyfriends. And what's amazing is that the men like don't even really notice. Like, the men don't even really notice that their girlfriend or their woman right there is literally bending over in front of me, like 2 feet away from where he's standing, trying to get my attention. And it's profound to me to experience these kinds of things, because on the one hand, I think to myself, well, if women in relationships are going to be doing that to these guys, why would she do that? Why wouldn't she do that with me? If I am the kind of person to get this kind of woman attracted, even when she has a boyfriend or something, or a man in her life, in a relationship of some kind, what makes me think that the woman that I choose is not going to have those same kind of temptations? and that is going to do those reckless things. Well, that's on the one hand, but then on the other, I also understand that women do not cheat or disobey or disappoint men that they consider to be the alpha. And the reason for that is because the man is able to, in the most respectful way possible, demonstrate to this woman that they are not equal and that she is, in fact, his property. Again, in the most respectful way possible. I do not mean any disrespect. So women that are watching this, thinking already that I'm misogynistic, it's not the case. It's not the case. Women do want men to take ownership of them. And what I mean by that is women do want men that take the lead. One of the reasons that I think about in retrospect of the situation that I just described with the married woman, one of the reasons that I think she was so submissive to me is because I demonstrated right out of the gate what I wanted from her and that I was leading the situation. And I could tell by the way that she reacted that she was like not only turned on by it, but also because there was that glimmer of like and flare of desire in her eyes. But it was also a like she had this energy of like finally like a guy that's actually leading somewhere. And that was interesting as well. And you're going to get like these kinds of intuitive messages when you're on semen retention, because you're going to be able to read the energy of these women and just people in general far easier than you're going to be able to hear their words, because a lot of times the words that they speak don't really matter. That's just, it is what it is. I look at people's actions and I feel and think about their energy more so than anything else. And so that was the energy that this woman was giving off. So the fact that she was looking at me this way, and then she entertained the conversation because she came to me after I said, hey, when neither of us are working out, I want to talk to you. Like the fact that, and I walked away after she said okay, because like I'm still doing my thing and I know she's doing hers. And I also did that and as a way to recognize and see whether or not she would like reach out as well. And so the fact that she did showed me that there was interest. And that was something that I hadn't really done before, but it was almost like that specifically anyway. But I have done things in the past where it's almost like you show the cat, like, because women are like cats. You show them that you have food, and they'll come to you one way or another. And because that's another thing that the men have to realize is that you're the one that women are trying to get something from. You're the one that has something to give to the woman. The woman doesn't really have anything to give to you, necessarily. You're the one that's providing and provisioning, not the other way around. And so a lot of the times these older women as well will recognize this youthfulness about you. And when they recognize this youthfulness about you, what I've noticed is that they want to almost like showcase their lifestyle as like, oh, I can be your sugar mama. Like, and it's like, well, I'm flattered, but I know how this story will end. I know how this story will end. In all of my consultations and in all of my life, I have never, ever seen a relationship where a man that is younger than the woman in the relationship, like biologically younger, where the relationship works out. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. And ever in my life, I've never seen a successful relationship where that works, where the man is younger than the woman and everything works out. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying that I've never seen it happen. And I don't recommend it to men. And the reason for that is oftentimes, this is something else about older women that just, it's kind of annoying. And it's always like they think that they know more than they really do, because they think that they're experienced in the world. And if you listen to them, like really listen to them, again, I'm not trying to be hateful. I'm just speaking from the heart here. It's like if you really listen to them, the only thing that they have to say is other things that people have said. Like they only say things that other people have said, and that's fine. Like I get it. Like that's fine. Because women are followers at the end of the day. They want somebody to lead, and if the women that are younger now don't realize this, that they need someone to lead them, then it's going to be very difficult for you in life. And the men have to become more like leadership quality material. I know this because throughout my life, I was almost discouraged to be my own person and to be my own leader. And within the last few years, that's all I've done, is to be an independent person and to lead myself into the promised land to the best of my ability. And so, as I've been doing that, and as I've been doing this, my life has been far better. And specifically on semen retention, I had a consultation with somebody, and they asked me, I won't disclose like whether it was male or female, but they asked me, like, obviously you've been on retention for over a year now. Like, how have you done that? Like, how have you done that? And like, why? Like, why have you done that exactly? Well, I just never saw the point in playing with myself after I relapsed that one time. After I relapsed that one time last May, after 3 weeks, and felt the effects, I never wanted to go back. And I now realize that to be free from lust and to be free from desire itself, because you can still desire, but you can still be free of that desire, because you don't want to repress it, but you also sometimes don't want to act on it. And there, like I said to this woman, like the married woman, there's nothing wrong with admiring a beautiful woman. Even if she's married or in a relationship, there's nothing with admiring a beautiful woman. However, to go after a woman in a relationship with another man, I will never, ever, ever purposely do that, where I know that this woman is for another man. And that's why I told her that I'm glad that she's married, because I'm glad that she has a man in her life. I'm glad that she's young and she got married. I'm glad that she seems pure. I'm glad that she seems feminine, and I genuinely wish the best for her. Because these women that are in their 30s, like this one woman that tried to talk to me the other day, this is something that's crazy too. You know what I've noticed is that for the first time in my life, I know what it's, I understand what it's like to have the attraction of an 18 to 22-year-old female. Like, it's like you can't even go anywhere without people staring at you. And you know, like, sure, it's nice. Like, sure, it's nice when you actually like the person that's staring at you back, when the person's actually attractive. But then you see people that are like, you know, the green-haired letter alphabet people, and they're just like, it's like, oh, like, don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. I don't even want you looking at me. Like, in fact, you can just turn your ass around. Turn your fat ass around and walk the other way. And I don't even want to look your way. Yeah. Because they're all fat. They're all out of shape. And they're wearing these... I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I live in like a college town almost. Like, it's not quite a college town, but it's like a mix of a family / college town. And so some of the women that are around here are like 5'4", 5'3", at least 200 pounds. You know, the short green, brown, like short green or red hair, and they have glasses, and they're wearing these crop tops and short shorts. And all I can think is like, no one wants to see that. Like, no one needs to see that. And even the women that are in shape that are doing that, I don't like. Sure, it's nice to look at, but if you're on semen retention, you're gonna be edging if you do that for too long. If you linger and you're a stare, it's going to be too long. And it's challenging to not look at these women sometimes if you're like early in the process of semen retention. But now it doesn't even faze me. Like, I can just walk past them like nothing matters, because nothing does matter when you're around those kinds of spirits. Like I mentioned at the beginning, you'll see in the eyes, there's like these seductive assassin's eyes that they have. And you don't even want to look that way because you don't want to invite that spirit into your vicinity. But I think I've got the main message across in this video. And so with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful and informative. And to anybody that is on the semen retention journey, I genuinely wish you all of the best as you go forward in this journey. It is life-changing, and I never will go back. In fact, I never plan to play with myself ever again, because I just don't even think that it's like, why play with yourself to begin with? I had this question on a video that I did on semen retention a little bit ago, probably like a week or two, and it's like the person asked, well, can I relapse every 30 days? Like, why would you want to? Like, why? Well, why would you want to do that? Who cares? Like, why wouldn't you just stay true to the essence? Because you're going to have more energy. You're going to have more vigor. You're going to have more focus. You're going to have that edge about you. And yet you're still going to be able to be compassionate and kind and highly masculine in all the things that you do. So why would you want to go back to that? Why would you? It would be better to just participate in any kind of sexual relationship where you're actually with a woman, like, so it's for real, and you actually want to share a meaningful connection with them. Like, what is, like, there's a reason God's commandments are the way that they are, because it brings stability to the whole society. So that's that. And peace be with you. Till next time.